Do you know what I hate? When you have an idea that you're putting together and then somebody comes along and blows it out of the water entirely. Yeah, that kind of thing. So today we're going to talk about it. And don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of really cool projects that have come out this year. Owl and the Orca, Short-Term Memory Loss. I've put out some discs, all of our Virtues collectibles. There's some things that I really wanted to do this year. And one of the ideas that I had for the crookedverse is when we had enough members, we were going to put together a card, kind of like a digital ID or a keys to the crookedverse type thing, or like a Pokemon style card for some of the members. If you're signed up at a certain tier, you get a corresponding card that kind of is like an identification, right? So I thought it would be really cool to have these collectible cards. But then SP Chops comes along and blows it out of the water entirely. And he puts out these super cool collectible trading cards for his most recent project, Most Valuable Beats. They're a limited edition. They're numbered 1 through 10, and I was lucky enough to get one of these. And this just goes to show some of the really, really cool things that you can do when you're a do-it-yourself artist and you're not focused on streams and you're not playing the playlist lottery and you're really focused on pushing the art forward and just being as innovative as possible. So when I got this in the mail the other day, one of the first things I did, as you can see, is I put it in a top loader. I made sure he signed it as well on the back, and I got numbered 2 out of 10. But this is one of those things that if you're an independent artist, why would you not take full advantage of some of the things that you're able to do? Not only does he make really great music, he also puts out really, really dope drum packs as well that he makes and processes all on his own. So when I had the opportunity to support this, I had to make sure that I got a copy. Along with the physical copy, you also get the digital download on Bandcamp. So as soon as I bought it, I was able to listen to it. Solara, High Tide, Nothing to See Here were a few of my favorites on the 7-track project. You can't get this off Spotify. You only get this when you're tuned in and you're tapped in and you're focused on the art form and pushing it forward. Things like this just show me what else is possible for me. And this is very high quality. I don't want to take it out of the top loader, but as you can see, this actually looks like a trading card. Like, this is dope. This is for the culture, and I'm going to try and collect as many of these as I possibly can now. I was a fan of SP Chops before, but I'm an even bigger fan now, especially being able to hold something like this. So this is one of a couple really cool things that I got this week. So shouts out to SP Chops. I love the fact that you made these available. I'm not actually mad that somebody also had a similar idea to the one that I had. I'm actually really excited about this because this just goes to show that if you're on that wavelength, if you're tapped into the culture, if you're really focused on pushing things forward and you're not just being bogged down by the weighted blanket that lo-fi can be sometimes, you really get the opportunity to push things forward. And this has just inspired me to do the most that I absolutely can with the music that I put out now and going forward as well. This has also been a really cool week in terms of other things that I've gotten in the mail. I also wanted to highlight the big homie District Lost as well. And this is also like DIY to the core. This is direct to consumer. And this, I caught wind of this prior to this. I had never heard a beat from District Lost in my life, but we follow some of the same people. We kind of maneuver through some of the same Discords. So when I seen that he was posting these one-off tapes on Discord and they were only going for $10 Canadian, I had to hop all over this. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me do the unboxing, you've seen the unnecessary packaging, and I gave him a hard time about it already. But this is a one-off, and this is direct to consumer DIY. This is just done on a plain old high output cassette tape. It's just a type 1 normal position. There's nothing fancy about it. On the inside, it's got some notes there and everything. The cover itself is just made from plain old regular paper right now. And we've had discussions. I pointed them in the direction of some paper that you can use. The fact that this was a one-off, I had to go and get that. I love not just releasing artifacts, but also collecting. As you can tell, I got this DIY Cowboy Dracula. Like, I am a fan of direct-to-consumer and DIY culture. I had the opportunity to listen to some of these District Lost beats on the way to go and pick some things up the other day, and these are slappers. These are amazing beats, and it made me even more excited to grab the tape when I did and to support another Canadian homie, especially in the direct-to-consumer and DIY space. I've said it before, I'll continue to say it again. It's never been about the playlist. That shit is disposable. It's always been about beat culture and preserving the art form, culture over content, always. So when I have the opportunity to support these things in the capacity that I do, and I end up with really dope cassettes like this, artifacts like this, these are the things that I geek out on. I love this art form. I love seeing people succeed and push things and push boundaries, put out their first tapes, put out their third or fourth or fifth one in a way that you haven't seen it done before. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Support your homies, support the indie artists, support the direct-to-consumer artists the same way that you would support any other artist that you love and enjoy. This is what it's worth, and this is what it's all about. If SP Chops went and deleted all of his music off of Spotify tomorrow, I would still have access to this. I would still have the card. I would still have the album because I downloaded it. District Lost, same thing. If he chose to remove all of his projects off of the internet tomorrow, guess what? I still have this. The only way it's coming down or getting taken away from me is if I lose it, if he comes back and collects it himself. These are physically tangible items, and if the internet was wiped out in a week, I would still have access to these things, and that's the most important part. This is bigger than a lot of us. So with that being said, I know I said the last video was the last video of the year, but when I got these in the mail this week, it got me thinking, I gotta do another one. I gotta highlight these two because you have somebody who's been doing this a while and you got somebody who's new to it. And that's what's important to me, is just bridging that gap between the direct-to-consumer and the DIYers. And this is fantastic. So this is actually the last one of the year. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking out all the videos, and I look forward to being there next year and collecting, consuming, and releasing even more of these.